the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins!
Out by Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
It's football time in Tennessee.
Good.
Dude, we're so close. Reddit did to do. And welcome into More Important Issues. It is August 31st. September is finally here. If you're listening on Friday morning on your way to work, I'm jealous of you because you're closer. Technically, time is relative. You are closer to football than I am. And I'm jealous of you. So just know that. It's Big Orange Friday if you're listening then. If you're not, it's almost Big Orange Friday, so that's good news. This is – the long wait is over. And Landon, before we jump into the episode, I want to tell – I have something from a good friend that I would like to share.
Okay. Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. You just want to do this for an hour?
I do. I really gotta do, man. I mean, there's nothing like the pride of the Southland just freaking ringing that you-know-what up. I mean, good God. I can't wait to be in Nissan Stadium, even if its structural integrity is in question. I'm fired up, man. We get at least one end zone checkerboard. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be a beautiful day. I expect it to be a beautiful morning like this morning was. Man, I'm telling you right now.
We're tailgating?
Nothing better than football in the state of Tennessee.
There's nothing. No.
Nothing. God, I don't even know where to go from now. I feel like we just started that off so hot.
Yeah.
And now I'm confused.
I love football.
I do love
God
football.
bless
I
football.
love Lamb. All right, that was a good sign off. Thank you guys. We'll see you on Saturday. No, I mean it's awesome, man. I'm so fired up. I've got the Utah Florida game on now. I'm looking at the ESPN scoreboard. We said it. I think I said it last week. If not, I at least said it to Landon. Like, I love week 0. I get fired up for week 0. Once it's gone, I'm like, that was the dumbest thing ever. Give me week 1. Like, let's get to real college football. So this is awesome. It's a full slate starting now all the way to Sunday night, man. Monday night, really. You get a game on Monday night. So it's the best time of the year. Like, there's nothing. The only thing better than like week 1 college football is that weekend, like late October, where the slate's really good.
Yeah. Well, it's like the weather's perfect. It's like the perfect drinking weather. The
Sometimes.
grass, the smell of the grass. I mean, everything about it is just, it's my everything.
Truly, like, this is what I look forward to. Like, I walked into work and the guys could tell I had like an extra pep in my step, like that, and I was like, man, it's football. Like, I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel what I'm feeling outside? Because that's football. And I mean, hey, it's even bumping in Utah. And Landon, you're kind of bashing me for maybe wanting to go to Ogden, but man, it looks like a good time right now.
Where at?
It's Ogden, right? Ogden, Utah, isn't that where the University of Utah's at?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man, that looks like an environment for sure.
Yeah. I'd rather be in Nissan.
Yeah, let me tell you about it. Saturday's going to be fun, though. We're going to talk all about game 1. We'll talk about college football. We've also got, so we've been doing our locks for the last 2 years now. We're going to add a little element into it. We're going to have 4 locks for you each, if you want to call them that. And then Joey and Dylan will have 4 of their own, a little competition. That's a teaser. That's what we call it in this business. You'll have to stay tuned to figure out what's happening with that. You may want to get in on it. I don't know.
I vote if Joey and Dylan don't start tweeting, I think they are automatically lose one of their picks.
I think they automatically have to default to the punishment.
Okay, yeah, they both have to do it.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty close to a full squad at that point. So yeah, we'll get into that. We've also got a great interview with Erik Ainge. We appreciate him coming on the show tonight. It's gonna be fun, kind of previewing this season, week 1. Also, get to talk a little Tennessee football. His time here in Knoxville as a player. So that'll be a good time. Make sure you stick around for that as well. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Or if you're just freaking calm and fired up right now, like let us know. Give us a woo, VOL. I don't know. Give us something. VOLS.
Yeah, take your shirt off, pull your pants down.
Are we going tarps off on this podcast?
We could.
I've got good news.
Okay.
This is a medium.
How much weight?
I'm back in a medium.
How much weight have you lost?
Not really much since like my trip. Like that period, I lost about 20 pounds in like I don't know what would that be, like 4 months, 3 months. Now I'm hanging about the same, but I'm healthier. Like I'm obviously sweating a lot more and moving around a lot more. So like I'm like thinning out. I'm not necessarily losing weight though.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is a medium. This is a Comfort Colors medium. I know that changes a little bit, but it's a medium. That's all that matters. It says M on it.
Congrats. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Feels good.
So yeah.
Just in time to gain all this weight for tailgating.
Well, the first couple weeks you sweat it all out. Like it's good.
Right.
You sweat it out. You sweat out all the beer and hot dogs, so it's fine. God, what do tailgates smell like if you come from the outside? I just realized, what were we, cigarettes and corn dogs? Now we're beers and hot dogs.
Yeah, brats. I wouldn't say don't make us hot dogs yet. We're brats.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're a little bit
That's
classier.
fair. I like that. But yeah, no, this is I'm excited to gain some weight, but I feel like I have it to give now. Don't worry, I haven't bought too many mediums, just one, so we're good. I'm not that bold yet. All right, we've got an exciting show. We need to get into it because we do have a lot, and I don't want to leave you all, but like the sooner me and Landon shut up, the sooner it's college football. So it's just time is relative. Yep. We already said it. Before we get into the show, though, I do want to tell you guys about one of our great friends. It's Underdog. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectible store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the 640 Plaza at 4452 Western Avenue in Knoxville. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. Remember, friends, always bet on the Underdog.
Yeah, drop those questions in the chat. Also, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and check out the podcast on any platform that you get your podcasts.
If you're subscribed on YouTube and you see me out in public, I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
If you're under the age of 21, publicly, I will not buy you a beer. Privately, are you cool though? Are you down? Are you down though? I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I also never said I would do that. I just asked if they were cool. That's all I asked.
And if they're down, which is kind of strange.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
Are you down?
I'm definitely down.
I'm down for freaking football. That's what I'm down for. Tennessee football.
We've waited so long.
This is last season flew by because we had so much fun. This offseason has drug. Like the countdown has lasted forever. Tomorrow you get that just line.
Yeah.
And we're not fancy. We don't do the fancy ones, just a line. Finally.
At some point you just be like, the countdown sucks. Like you look forward to the countdown in the off season, but then you're just like, dude, this sucks. Like, let's get on with it.
Isn't that, but like, that's how good touchdown Utah. Let's freaking go, Utes. Isn't that part of the that's one of the things that makes things like college football so just that awesome, is that even the countdown to it, the time that it's non-existent, is awesome.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. It does get to a point where you're like, please get on with this.
Yeah, let's go. All right. So, Virginia.
UVA.
And I know we get to talk to it a little bit with Erik Ainge, but Tony Elliott, man. I mean, the press conference is it's hard to watch.
We'll find out how good Josh Heupel. Oh, you're talking about. Oh, okay. That press conference.
Unless he's just straight up hustling, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, who are these guys again?"
But would you want to do that?
I don't know. I don't know what your gain is from that, but man, I mean, he didn't. He was like, "Yep, Barron and Harrison, they're big. Aaron Beasley, he's big. Well, he's 225, but he plays bigger than he is." It's like, what?
That is kind of true, though. To be fair,
right?
He's also your middle linebacker.
He was like, he's big. He's 16.
Oh, you're saying he had to correct himself?
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Classic. That's classic. I'm an idiot, but I got to cover up that I'm an idiot.
Right.
Do that all the time. But that also just proves you're an idiot, Tony Elliott.
Right.
It makes you feel better. I'm an idiot. Yeah, no, that's I'm with you. What do you have to gain from that? I would love if they just never watched film on Tennessee, because I mean that would maybe they're just banking on Joe Milton throwing it out of the stadium.
Maybe they're just trying to make it as ugly as possible.
He didn't watch the Clemson game. You know, bad vibes there. Just they won't tell you, but him and Dabo got into a fist fight before he left. So they won't tell you that. But so he didn't want to watch that game, so he doesn't know that Joe knows.
Yeah, just a bad look on his part. Dang, Utah went 70 yards.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well.
Spoiler, I took Florida.
Hey, that's okay.
Oh, I know. Oh, it sucks to lose it on our bet, but like for me,
but here's the thing. If you won that bet, you're feeling worse about going to the swamp in 3 weeks.
No, 100%. Like I would rather go full kit wanker, spoiler, than Florida win. I'll gladly. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem at all. But yeah, Virginia, they're a bad football team.
They're not good.
I knew they were.
And they look worse on paper.
Oh, dude, that was just excellent breakdown. Yeah, that's what's crazy. They look worse on paper. I was like, I know they're bad. Then you go and read about them, and you're like, okay, they are really bad. It's eye-opening.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how they're going to score any points.
Right. Yeah.
They were 126th in total offense last year. They lose their quarterback, who was a 3-year starter and transferred to NC State. They lost their top 4 receivers. I mean, they got to be worse, right?
Well, this is not a good thing for them. Their quarterback situation is probably the best thing about them. Like that kid was good at was it Monmouth?
Yeah,
he threw for like 2,400 yards last year, 6 interceptions.
He threw for 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He was okay.
I mean, okay, that's fine. I'll take it. But like I'm saying, that's how bad they are, though, is that, in my opinion, is the best thing about them is their quarterback situation.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how you're banking on that. I mean, offensively, yes, that probably is. They did get Kobe Pace from Clemson, who's their running back, and he had like 500 yards at Clemson in 2021, but was injured last year, so who knows what he looks like. The rest of their backs are returning, but they haven't put up any yards or anything. They were horrible at rushing the ball last year. I know they did a lot of misdirection stuff, but I think that was just because, hey, I don't know how else we're going to score.
Yeah, I mean, no, don't mishear me that I'm saying Brennan Armstrong's going to be good. I think they're bad. It's just, do you want to be the best player on a bad football team? Does that make you feel better?
Tony Muskett,
Brennan, yeah. That's right, because I was like, that's one of the coolest. Like, you have all the insane names, like Kool-Aid McKinstry. Or Dakotas to ever do it, Crawford. That's an awesome name, but it's absurd. Like, it sounds like a Key and Peele skit.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Muskett sounds like a real name, and it's also awesome.
Yeah, Tony Muskett should have went to like West Virginia.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Or
But yeah, I mean, like I know like defensively, they do return.
You know what beats a musket every time?
A more high-powered musket.
A bazooka.
Oh, okay. Well, we also have a musket, but let's say it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ours is a bazooka. Like we just blow up.
We do have that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Advanced warfare.
Yeah. Don't bring a.
We support the military and
don't bring a musket to a bazooka fight.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Tennessee. I don't think if there are offensive line struggles this year, and I do still have some questions about it. Again, I'm not saying that negatively. Just like there's valid reason to say what's going to happen, especially Cooper Mays, kind of still in. We just don't know. We have hope and what we think is going to happen. We just don't know right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'll see that highlighted at all in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think their best thing about this Virginia team is their front seven.
Right.
They
returned
6 of their 7.
Yeah, I was about to say almost everyone.
7 guys, but Chico Bennett, their best edge guy, is out. He had 7 sacks last year. The one guy that they don't replace, it was their leading tackler. So, I mean, yeah, it was good, but I also think like you're kind of just
won 3 football games.
Yeah,
how good?
Yeah, one position had to be better than the other ones. I guess it had to be those. Right.
So that's again kind of going back into the whole quarterback. Like their best situation's not great defensively. Not great that they pretty much replaced their entire back end of their defense when you're playing a team that likes to throw a lot of different looks at you. That makes it much more difficult on those guys trying to figure each other out, figure the game out. Yeah, I mean, I think if Joe is composed, and I mean he should be, this might be a very fun day for Joe Milton and the receivers catching the ball.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think there's just a lot of question marks with Virginia everywhere on that roster. And Tennessee just seems, it's weird, but Tennessee is just better. Like they're better than Virginia. They're better at every position.
Right. I was about to say, to be fair, it's not wild that they're better than Virginia necessarily.
But at every position.
I would agree with that. Also, I did mean to mention this. Tennessee and Virginia only played 4 times. They've only played 4 times
in the Sugar Bowl?
The last time was the 1991 Sugar Bowl. Prior to that, 1980, then 1940, then 1927. So this battle, this matchup goes all the way back to 1927, but they've only played 4 times. Tennessee's won 3 of them. So Tennessee's is better at every position and column than Virginia. That just seems crazy to me, like very regionally close. I know they've never played the same conference, but I don't know. So it seems like crazy to only play a team like that 4 times.
Yeah, maybe the next Battle of Bristol, we play them.
I'm down. I said I wouldn't go, but Danny White, you say it, I'll be there.
But yeah, I like what you said about Joe. And he should have a field day. I think if he gets going early, kind of build up that confidence. I have 2 plays in mind that I think will be the first one. Either it's a run straight up the middle, or that it's a little like just toss to the outside or that.
It's a bubble screen. It's a screen.
Yeah.
It's a bubble screen.
To the receiver.
It's a bubble screen. I'm telling you, it's a classic Tennessee start, no matter who the coach is. We're throwing a bubble screen on the first play. I would love to see the Caleb Mitchell fake bubble screen TD. That would be great. Yeah, the good thing is Tennessee's athletes can run by the guy, whereas some of us have to still battle them after they're completely faked out. But yeah, I think that's a great option. Tony Elliott, if you're listening to this, which I know you are as you prepare, because you haven't watched the game, so you have to be watching something. They're definitely not going to run a fake bubble screen go. That's not going to happen. But so you can turn this off now. Now, Josh Heupel, you don't turn it off. Do it. Do it.
But yeah, I think if Tennessee jumps out quick, I think if it's 2 touchdown lead early, I think it's over. Like Tony Elliott, like there was culture problems last year. There was like this team is, they had the tragedy, and I hate that happened, and it is really cool that Tennessee is honoring those 3 players that were killed last season. But I think it's over.
What a mood killer. So I'm going to get away from that. Landon, you're saying it might be over if they get up 2 scores? Buddy, it's 8:21 on Thursday night, August 31st. It's over right now. Vols by 90. And there is a little bit of battered Vol syndrome still hanging around. Sorry, Josh. Like you'd think with that Alabama game that, elation that I felt like that would all be gone. But you're talking like 17, 18 years of not that long, but well over a decade of misery and just defeat. And today was the anniversary of the Georgia State game. I had all that pop up on my time hop. Classic video of me in Neyland Stadium saying I'm ready to kill myself, and I was. So like that still lingers, but
we've all been there.
Yeah, for sure. But
mine was in Nashville.
This Tennessee football team, it's gonna be different, and it's over right now. It's over on Thursday night. Virginia just landed in Knoxville.
Yeah,
they don't even know where the game's at.
Set the tone early. I like it. Just a flat out bomb the first.
Nico has 2 TDs.
And if we're on defense, I think we run just a freaking house blitz.
We blitz all night.
Yes.
Let's get a defense chant going when we
all morning
into the second half. Yeah, for real. Yeah. What do you even like? How do players even eat at because it's an 11 a.m. like 6:37. I don't ever eat breakfast unless I'm eating like a bar. You got to play a game. Like you better put something in your body. They just force feeding themselves.
Probably do, yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Probably like a protein shake or something.
That's probably a good pregame dump though, for just being honest. That you get the morning and the early breakfast hit. It's got to be good.
Yeah, I don't care if Virginia has a good front seven. I really don't. I
don't think we can call it good, to be honest.
Right. Good for them.
Right.
They've never had to play an offense like this, as dangerous, as fast. I think as soon as you see in the first quarter when the defensive linemen have their hands on their hips, they might as well just wave the white flag.
Okay.
It's done.
All right. I like that.
It's done.
I like that. Speaking of really, really, really good front sevens, don't worry. Florida's just playing really good right now.
What's the score?
It's just 7-0 right now, but I mean, Utah's looking fine.
So was that Utah's first play?
Was it their first play? I didn't realize that if it was. Interesting.
Yeah, on their first play, 70 yards.
Did not realize it was their first play from scrimmage. That's awesome. That is incredible.
Oh, my God. Graham Mertz, baby, for Heisman.
How dare Billy Napier go out to the West Coast and not go for it on 4th down once in the first quarter? Coward. God. Is he fired?
He might be.
It's week 1, but we can fire that up if you want.
Dude,
we don't want him fired right now. The state they're in right now, we desperately do not want him fired.
Yeah, keep him. I was thinking about it the other day. And this is taken away from Virginia, I know, but we do tangent on the show. How the hell did Jim McElwain get hired at Florida?
Probably the same way Butch Jones got hired at Tennessee.
That's kind of the same thing I was thinking.
Oh, they did just have a tackle for a loss on 3rd down. Good news is Florida's punter already has over 100 yards punting.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're somebody's putting up stats.
What do you think about this defense for Tennessee? Going back to this game.
Actually, I think with everything we talked about with Virginia's offense, you have a quarterback who, he's a veteran in terms of he's played college football. He has experience. The pace of the game is going to be very different for him. It's going to be different potentially we talked about it, if Tim Banks decides to be aggressive like he has been early on in the season. Like the speed's going to be different for everyone on that offense. I think this is a really good chance to set the tone for the season, for early on in the season. You have a chance to go get turnovers. You have the chance to be, especially looking at the flip side of it, where the offense no matter who they play is going to be pretty efficient, but should be very efficient on Saturday. You kind of have the opportunity to go out and make mistakes going 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have that opportunity. I think it's can the guys on the back end, can they go get the ball at opportune times? And can the guys on the front end just hold up their end of the bargain like they have been? They're not going to see a ton of runs, especially after Tennessee goes up 2 scores early, because the other team can't do it. You can't run the ball. So hold up your end of the bargain. I'm interested in the pass rush. I think, not that Byron Young was your entire pass rush. I mean, I don't think Amari Thomas gets a ton of credit. Like, I'm not saying people don't, but I don't think he gets enough for the amount of pressure he gets from up the middle. I don't remember the last time Tennessee's had someone that got that much pressure in pass rush up the middle.
Yeah.
And so I assume he's going to do the same thing, but your edge is going to look pretty different. Tyler Barron is obviously a seasoned guy, but he's not always been the most consistent. And I think he benefited. He got to play opposite of Byron Young a little bit last year. He did at the end of 2021. And so, yeah, I'm interested a lot, but I think this is a good chance to go be aggressive and be free to make mistakes, but go get the football, man.
Yeah.
Go get the football.
Play in the other team's backfield. I also think don't give up anything cheap. When we rewatched the Florida game, I'm like, dude, if we could just tackle and not give up just, busted coverages, that game's a blowout.
And see, for me, you said anything cheap, and I was kind of curious what you meant. For me, I would rather give up the busted coverage big plays than the 5-yard hitches over and over and over again. Like, go make the quarterback make a play. At some point they did make Anthony Richardson have a first-round draft pick day.
Mm-hmm.
And make the opposing quarterback do that. Don't give them the cheap crap to move the chains and then put you in a situation where you really got to bow up and make it hard on yourself. We talked about, last year I thought the pass rush was plenty fine enough to make it hard on the quarterback. I know you have that question this year, but again, this game seems like the opportune time to find out if you do. Don't give them the bull crap. If I see our corners playing 8 yards off the ball, I'm going to lose my mind up in the upper deck, whatever section we're in.
Yeah. That's the thing is, like, you give up those 5-yard hitches and then they hit you with a double move and you whiff on that too. You can't get beat deep when you're playing 8 yards off. You
better not get beat deep. If you give up that crap, I'll be mad, but you better not get beat deep. And at the end of the day, I'll be okay with it. But
yeah,
and that's like my mind and like cheap. Like, you go look at like some of the yardages that some quarterbacks put up against us, and I don't know, 50% of it comes from those plays. And I get the bend don't break mentality, and I think Tennessee's been fairly successful with it. It's hard to argue with it last year, but I think there's a difference in playing bend don't break and then just giving people free plays. And I don't know, if we don't trust our starting corners to step up to the line of scrimmage to play with a guy, let's try to find someone else, because it's not like you're rotating guys in there to figure it out.
Well, and that's a good thing about this season. I think they actually have some competition and some people, some depth behind them where, hey, if you're not getting it done, somebody's there, right on your heels, ready to take your spot.
Right.
So
I hope so. I'm with you. I think that seems to be the case. Let's find out. Let's find out on Saturday.
Yeah. I think Jalen Wright has a big game. Who
rolls out first? Who rolls out first? Is it Jalen Wright with the ones?
I gotta think so.
Okay.
Gotta think so.
I think they roll with Jabari Small. Kind of like not it's not broken, don't fix it kind of deal.
Maybe they do, and maybe they just.
We know they're going to. We know they're going to split the carries.
Maybe the next 3 is Jalen Wright or something like that. I don't know, but he's going to have a big day. This is a money year for him. What?
Yeah. Florida just got a first down, then fumbled. They recovered it though. Dang. They're driving. They would have been in the red zone if he doesn't fumble that. So you hate to see it.
Yeah, I just think he should be set for a big day. He was a guy flirting with the transfer portal and wanted that kind of NIL money. They got it done. However they did it, they got it done. And so he's got to go out and prove that. He's got to go out and prove that he was worth that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he did at times. Hey, you mentioned on the last, hang on to the football, man.
Yeah,
Hang on to the
that's all you
football.
need. I mean, everything else is in front of you. You got wide open spaces with this offense. If you can just hold on to the football, you're going to be good.
Yep. I'm ready to roll with Jalen Wright. I'm not saying I don't necessarily prefer. I think both have great qualities. I do think Jalen Wright's I think this. I don't think there's. I mean, you'd obviously love a really really athletic back in this system. And I don't know if Jalen Wright's the perfect back, but he's probably the closest you have right now. I really want it to be Dylan Sampson next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm with you. I think Jalen Wright's the best right now on this roster.
Yeah.
And I think that's saying something. Tennessee's got a stable of running backs, man.
I'm
just excited.
There's a lot of weapons on this team. I mean, looking at even tied in like Jacob Warren, McCollum Castles. I mean, those guys. You've heard nothing but good things about them. Did you get to read Jacob Warren's letter?
No.
Okay. I'll see if I can.
I'm not gonna read it now.
No, I can find. I just want to read the last. I was gonna read the last part to you, but it was a letter to the fans.
Okay.
And he says, this is the very end of it. It's a long. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but he says, "We aim to make you proud, to give you a reason to celebrate on Saturdays and to wear the tee with the utmost pride. Thank you for being with us every step of the way. Let's make this season one to remember."
I'll ride with you, baby. I'll ride with you.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm in. Sign me up. I'm in.
It just seems like the football program and the fans, we're just one right now. It feels good.
Who are we giving the credit to? Danny?
I think you got to.
Or is it Heupel? Who gets the credit? It's got to be Danny because it's also, Vitello.
Danny hired Heupel, so
that, and then you got the Vitello who just kind of, I know he grew up in Missouri, but or no, did he lived in St. Louis at one point, right? He grew up in St. Louis because he's a Cubs fan or was a Cubs fan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which is weird. But Vitello's, whether he knows it or not, he's a Vol.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Vol. So yeah, there's a good mixture. Yeah, we'll give credit. I'll give it to Danny. You know.
And I forgot to mention about the pass rush when we were talking about it. This Virginia offensive line gave up 3.4 sacks per game last year. Now, they only played 10 games, but that's a lot. I'll take 4 sacks tomorrow or Saturday.
Gladly, and I will cheer very loud for all of them.
I'm also interested, what's the defense going all out, or are we playing a lot of base stuff? We just seeing how the game plays out and maybe mellow it out at some
That's
point?
The thing. I think you can play a lot of base and still
kill them.
You can still blitz and not show everything you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's I don't think that needs to be a worry. We don't need to show too much to be able to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Also, I mentioned it after kind of watching 2022. We go pretty hard at the secondary, and I think that's fair. Don't get me wrong, but I also think the linebacking group wasn't great in pass coverage, and they have to hold a little bit of responsibility for what teams were able to do to Tennessee through the air.
Yeah. I
really want to see how I know tomorrow won't be a great measurement, kind of like what I was saying about the offensive line. It's going to be hard to walk away from that one and feel good, even if they play really, obviously there's a way to feel good, but I don't know if it'll be a great measurement.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll be a great measurement, but I hope they're at least good in pass coverage on Saturday because you're feeling better about it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see who kind of all plays along the offensive line. Do they stick with everybody? Do they, interchange some of them? How does that look?
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be at least some movements.
Yeah. I
don't know how exactly.
Ollie Lane is going to play center. Cooper Mays is going to be out.
Eagles.
Yeah. Gibbs, baby. It is pretty cool that 2 guys are going to start from Knoxville on offense.
Hold.
Huh?
A hold. From Knoxville. Who?
I just read his letter.
Ah, see, I knew you'd get me. I just had to think. I'm sorry. I'm not much of a thinker.
Little brain fart. It's okay. It's preseason.
Sorry.
Season.
Also, your delay when we sang Rocky Top, it's always so great because you're delayed. So I don't know if you ever watch back when we sing stuff.
Did you just fart?
No, you're hearing your echo. I'm trying to upload a video from my phone.
Oh.
I don't think I farted.
I mean, it just sounded like a little squirt. So,
I mean, you did see that guy on the Notre Dame podcast crap his pants, didn't you?
He did. What in the world?
Have you ever almost crapped your pants recording this?
No, but you have.
I didn't. I just knew I needed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. You like went dark
but I didn't like. I wasn't.
You didn't do it on camera.
It wasn't coming. Yeah. Well, I made it to the bathroom.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't touch cloth.
Right. I knew I needed to go though. So like, it's different. I think. I do feel for that guy because, I mean, we both know when it hits you. It's not much. Like, there's no battle to go on.
Yeah.
So, I do have a video I want to show you of what I think. Well, I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but maybe what Tennessee will do to Virginia on Saturday. It's not going to be uploaded. This thing's. I hate this platform so much. I mean, abysmal.
We're gonna know one soon, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right, give me your score predictions till we see it.
I got 52-13.
52-13. Okay. Vols cover. Or not Vols, sorry. Vols cover and over. That's what we're
and 50 points. Yeah. I mean, can you smell what Hype's cooking over there? He's cooking a 50 burger.
I really like that 52 number. But I'm gonna go one up you a little bit. I'm gonna go 56.
Okay. Just 8 tutties.
I think if you get your twos and Nico in, 2s and 3s and Nico, I think you're gonna run your offense for at least like 2 drives.
I think that's a good point. I think you see Nico
there's a lot
like
of
the
touchdowns out there.
Quarter.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of touchdowns out there for the young buck.
Love it.
I like the 13 number a lot too. Give him another field goal. 56-16. I think they get it. I think they get in field goal range. I know what I want, but we also know that there's going to be the bend don't break element.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably going to get some cheap ones late. Whatever.
We'll be on Broadway by then, baby.
Yeah, I want it to be over by halftime. That's what it should be.
It's over now.
I think we should strategically only score when we can score in the checkerboard.
Okay. What if we're not going to the checkerboard in the first quarter? I mean, the panic button that would be hit in the state of Tennessee.
Oh my God. Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Maybe they'll turn us around each time. Like was it when they played in Wrigley? The offense was always going towards one end zone. Maybe they do that.
Yeah, maybe they're like, they have a turnover. We're like, we'll just take it right here.
Yeah. Kickoff's just ball in the 20.
Yeah.
Ball in the 20 coming out. I like that.
So you got 56-16?
Mm-hmm.
Any other kind of predictions for the game? Stat predictions?
Joe Milton scores a lot of touchdowns.
I think all 4 of your top receivers score a touchdown.
Oh, I like that one. I think you have 2 interceptions from 2 different balls.
Okay.
I'm betting on this. I'm banking, pun intended, on this defense.
I like that. I think Jalen Wright has 120 and maybe gets close to 150.
Wow. I might need a real. So you've got 4 different guys scoring at least 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Wright for running for 150 yards. You do know that the clock's going to run a lot.
We are padding stats, my friends.
I don't think you watched week 0. I don't know if there's enough time in a game anymore. Do you think Josh Heupel's offense is faster? What was it like every like 12 seconds the ball was snapped or something like that from when the ball was placed. Like, what are we at 10, like 10.2 now? We're
It's
running.
gotta be
100
quicker.
meter.
You got to make up for the time difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, which one? The one in the game or the hour?
The game. But yes, that too. Yeah. Central time.
I like that. Yeah, Tennessee games might be longer than other college football games now because there'll be so many commercial breaks. Take the balls to cover. You heard it here first.
Yep.
From a Virginia fan. I've actually met like 3 Virginia fans in my life, which is very weird. How do you not from Virginia either? Not like from Charlottesville, just Virginia fans. How do you become a Virginia fan?
I mean, I guess they're pretty good at basketball, but maybe baseball.
But not not when I met Virginia fans.
No, I don't know. I don't know how you. Maybe a couple years ago, people were saying the same thing about Tennessee. It's like, how do you become a Tennessee fan?
I mean, yeah, maybe the weird ones like out. Yeah, maybe you might be right.
Whatever. Florida got something going.
Yeah, dude. Graham Mertz cooking them up.
Dang.
This video is not going to upload, and it's very disappointing. Dylan, well, you don't have a Mac, I don't think so. I don't think it's sent. Do you? If I send you a video, will it go to your computer? Can you upload it for me? I'm just going to send it to you. You decide what to do with it. I don't even care. At this point, I just don't care. It's football time in Tennessee.
Do you want to go ahead and get to our interview?
Yeah, real quick. Have you seen those videos? It's a Taylor Swift song. I don't know which one. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not up to date on all these things. Just don't even worry about it then, Dylan. You're good. It's not your fault. I'm not mad at you. Just don't worry about it. I sent it, but don't worry about it. Do you know the trend on TikTok where you go and the people pick up their dog and like swim around? You seen that? I'm trying to do that with Brutus, and he lost his crap on me. It's a pretty funny video. But yeah, did not play out the way I thought it would play. He's also heavier. I've never picked him up like that as an adult, which makes sense. He's very heavy. Kind of awkward too. Like he's like real, bony up in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
just feels wrong.
He tried to bite me. I don't think he's ever tried to bite me.
But he did try to bite you?
Yeah, probably because I grabbed him under the armpits. I got to imagine that's pretty uncomfortable. So it's my fault for sure. He has no idea what's going on. He just sees a phone like strapped to my chin. So yeah, weird stuff. But yeah, we are going to get to this interview. It's with VFL Erik Ainge. Before we do that though, go to Rowback.
Yeah,
you open another tab or get on your computer. Go to rowback.com. Buy whatever you want. I'm going to tell you right now though, I'm buying the State of Tennessee polo. It looks sweet,
so good. Yeah, they got quarter zips, t-shirts, hoodies. Like you mentioned, polos. They got a lot of other different polos as well.
And buy more than just one because this is off your entire order, what I'm about to tell you. It's off your whole order.
20%.
20% off your entire order for first time buyers.
Yep.
So new emails. Your first purchase from rowback.com. And yeah, 20% off the entire thing. Just use code More Important Issues. It's that easy. That's all you got to do. Just tell them you know me. And you'll get the 20% off.
Yeah.
So
have your people call our people. We'll get it set up.
Yeah. Open this new tab. Pull up your computer, whatever you need to do. This is Erik Ainge, VFL. Do we mention Brian Rice? Thanks for coming on, Erik. We appreciate it.
What's up, guys? How are we?
Good, man. Good.
Doing good.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Man, if it looks like I'm crying, I'm not. But my neighbor Wally just brought some jalapenos over there, and they're like so hot. And of course, I'm like, let's zoom.
Yeah, just foaming at the mouth.
I'm ready, though. What's going on?
Dude, shout out to Wally, though. Those are good jalapenos, then, if they've got you lit up like that.
I'm getting a head shake from Susan that they're too hot for her, too. So no.
Okay.
We had our bites. We're done.
There you go.
Well, speaking of today felt like football season. What do you think? Are we ready?
It's fall-ish. It's fallish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little muggy, but yeah, it's early. I'm ready.
Yeah.
What's so I do want to ask, as a guy who's obviously been there, what's this build up like week one? You're getting out of fall camp, or I guess you're technically out of fall camp now. You're I guess for a quarterback, you've been wearing the red shirt the whole time. You may be ready to get hit by this point. What's that build up like to game one?
I mean, I feel like so much of it is schematic. Like you go against your own, it's ones against ones. You know, we go over and watch practice, and they'll do scrimmage reps, even when it's not one of the scrimmages. At the end of practice, they'll still scrimmage, and it's like they're hyper, they're excited. Then you get to the end of practice, the energy changes, the music gets cranked up louder. They start chirping and talking trash to each other, and it's football. But and then you go to mock game week last week and into this week, and all that's kind of out. You still do like 7-on-7 and stuff, but for the most part, you're going against the scout team. You know, it's Tennessee versus the walk-ons and some freshmen doing the scout team for what they think Virginia's going to do. So it's like you shift from that like physical, grueling, hand in the dirt, losing 10 pounds of practice, going crazy, to more slightly reserved, watching the other guys get the reps, looking at what they're trying to do. It's game plan, walkthrough, practice. Then you kind of get in that, you know, Mondays we do this, Tuesday, inside run, goal line, short yardage. Today, third down, red zone, drop back pass, and you're implementing the game plan. And that to me was always by far the most fun part of football and practice, other than, you know, game day and fans and the pomp and circumstance. But it was here's what they do, here's our plan, here's how we're going to attack it. You go through practice, you make a mistake, and then you see why you're doing it, and it makes you, your alignment, you know you have to step with that left foot first because the guy's going to try to cross your face, and then you go watch film, and sure enough it happens, and you just start like piecing it all together, getting ready for tomorrow, which, you know, is full speed run through, do the whole game plan, and then it's off to Nashville, man.
Yeah, that's it sucks for the freshmen, man. Their first college road experience, and they've just got to get on a bus. They don't even get the chartered plane.
Yeah, right.
Was going to Vanderbilt for so many reasons the worst part of playing at Tennessee?
So, yeah, and I was going my freshman year. I was hurt, and so, and this is kind of funny. We go to Vanderbilt. Me, a walk-on guy from Brentwood Academy named JT Wash, and because if you're hurt, you don't travel.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went there on, you know, Friday or whatever. We're just going to go to the game, and we're walking to the stadium. You know, team's already there. We're just walking to the stadium, and I just like walked up and walked in with him, and I was like, "Don't we like need a ticket or like have to call someone on the team?" He was like, "No, they don't care. Anyone can come in here." I was like, "Literally anybody can just walk." And he was, so we literally walked in. So here I am, freshman, injured quarterback Erik Ainge with my Tennessee shirt on. We just walked in and walked on the field. I mean, we belonged there, but they didn't know that.
Right.
Well,
that's awesome.
You might have an easier time. I'm not, you know, 6'4". It's not
well,
as easy for me.
Now you just have to wear a hard hat to get into that stadium.
Right.
Yeah, just stay away from their scoreboard.
Yeah, it might blow on you. So you kind of talked about some, you know, game week and, you know, just the locker room and kind of what the atmosphere looks like. So Tennessee is kind of like a brotherhood. We've heard that from a lot of VFLs that we've had on. What is you know, do you still get to stay in touch with some of those guys that you played with?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it's fun too, because when I go over there now, Dustin Colquitt's over there, you know, coaching kickers, and Robert Ayers is over there coaching defensive linemen with Rodney Garner, and there's some support staff over there, and Scott Altizer, who's I guess he's the director of player. I don't know what his title is, but he was the guy that actually watched my recruiting film out of high school first. Under Coach Fulmer, and he left for a little bit, and then he's back. So there's still a lot of familiar faces over there. And I'll tell you what, guys, it's nice. So I've gone over there with every coach. Not Kiffin. I was living in New York then, but by the time Dooley got back, you know, last couple of years I was around, I'd go watch practice with his staff, and some of the guys, you know, knew what they were talking about. And under Butch, it was really different. And I'd hear some stuff that I was like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's not one way to do anything, right? In football, there's a lot of different ways to get the job done. You know, Pruitt defensively, I really liked what he taught, how he taught it, and how he talked to the guys. I don't know how they didn't just fight him half the time. But it's nice now because I go over there and I can follow Burns. I can follow any of them. Ellerby, I can walk from Martinez, whatever. I can walk around and listen to these guys coach, and I'm like, man, they're doing it right. They're teaching the right fundamentals. They're saying the right things. We were over watching practice. Susan and I were over there watching practice. This is at the end of practice. I probably shouldn't say this. I said it on the radio, and one guy isn't looking at Coach Heupel, and he lost it on him. You got 125 guys. One guy wasn't listening right at the end of practice, His eyes on me, all eyes on me. I mean, it was like a side of him that I hadn't really seen before. He's always kind of calm, and with the media, and he's a really like players coach. Like he gets after you, but he's not like a screamer necessarily. But he ripped him a new one quick, and then right when that Joe Milton brought the whole team in and said, "Coach shouldn't have to talk to us like that." And they had to go. I thought they had a good practice, but one guy wasn't looking. Then he said, "Remember when we couldn't get the goal line substitution in the pit game their first year?" He said it's a little thing. We ended up we didn't score. We lost. He's like, it's little things. If I say eyes, I want every single eyeball out here. What's the little thing going to be this year for this team? And I just like going over there and listening to that. Like you have an alpha type A. When I talk, you listen, do what I tell you to do. But like they love him for it at the same time. I think we got a really good staff over there right now.
Yeah. Do you feel like we want to talk about this year, obviously. Do you feel like the expectations and how they approach practice or just, approach the weight room, whatever it may be, do you feel like the expectations for this year have almost changed because of last year? Or do you think it looks kind of all the same? Like, hey, we expect to win. We're going to go do this.
It's like different a little bit. I didn't expect us to go 11-2 and win the Orange Bowl last year. I had higher expectations. We could have been 9-3 their first year. We easily could have beat Pitt and Ole Miss, and we could have been sitting there as a 9-3 football team trying to win 10 in a bowl game. So we were close, even with a 7-6 record, they were probably better than that. But I don't know that I saw 52-49 and winning some of the games the way that they did. So I think the difference is, I said this to Chris Doring and Jacob Hester today. I said, just because some guys leave doesn't mean the expectation has to change. I think they expect to win every game they play. I don't, I remember Heupel said it earlier in this offseason. Someone asked him something like that, and he said, well, we're not expecting to lose. We're going to try to win them all. And that's what it should be, and we never did when I was in school, but there was never a game on the schedule that in preseason we looked at the schedule. Now you guys might be different following it then, but we never looked at a game and went, well, we know we can't win that one, but we're going to try to win the other 11. We looked at all 12, but there's no reason we shouldn't win every single one of those. No, we didn't. We were 9-3, 3 years out. We didn't do that, but we never went into a game going, I don't know, all shucks, these guys are really good. I mean, we were too, and so is Tennessee right now. No one wants to play Tennessee. Nobody. No one wants to game plan for our offense. We're bigger, stronger, faster than we've ever been, than we've been recently. We have a ton of skill players. We have some depth finally. No one looks at the Tennessee game on their schedule and they're excited to play us because we're Tennessee, but is excited about the roster and the scheme and all that. It's a pain in the butt. Play us is hard.
Yeah, when Josh Heupel, I remember when he first got the job, it was one of the press conferences. I don't think it was the first one, but it was shortly after. He was just like, they were asking him about the roster and what it looked like. And he was like, I mean, we're going to go in with what we got. And he didn't have to worry about, who we're going to get in the transfer portal, who we're going to get in recruiting, this and that. It was just like, this is what I have in front of me, and this is what we got to work with. That's when it kind of changed my mind. I was like, maybe I am on board with this guy.
I just think to me, there's the Deion Sanders route, right, where you go, there's no way I can win with these guys, so I'm going to 80 new guys.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a path, but you also, like Heupel, and he said this early too, and he lived this with them, which is why they all bought in so fast. But he didn't treat them like they weren't his guys. And then when we follow it, we say, well, he has his first recruiting class. He has these transfers. These are his guys that he went out and got. Joe Milton was no different to him than Hendon Hooker or any of the other guys on the roster. They were all his guys. You got the jersey on. If you wanted to leave. He wasn't chasing guys. There are 30 guys left or whatever. Right. You got Henry T saying, he never tried to, called me or tried to convince me to stay. And I like that. This is Tennessee and this is our team. If you want to be here and do what we say. But if you don't, we're not going to beg you to be here either. I just think that's an approach as a player. No wonder those guys that stuck around all got better. No wonder Darnell Wright and Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman, and you're going to see it this year. I think Ramel's going to have a great year. You see all these guys that stuck around, bought in, and had ownership in the program, in their program, in the Power T, and it meant something to them. And that makes going to work every day a whole lot easier. That makes practice when it's hard a whole lot easier. When you feel like you're actually with your teammates, your brothers, the coaches believe in you. They went from having coaches that were, never pointed out the good stuff and we're always all over. I mean, there's different ways to coach. The foot up the butt route, like Pruitt does, is fine if you're coaching a bunch of 5-stars that know they're about to make millions. But when you're coaching a bunch of beat up 3-stars that have never won anything, they might need a hug every once in a while.
Right.
And I kind of came in and did that. Kind of gave them that approach and almost like empowered them to believe they could be good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just going to happen. You got to go do the work. You got to listen. If I say all eyes on me, all eyes on me. If you'll do what we say, you will get better. And then they all individually saw themselves getting better collectively as a unit, as a receiver unit or quarterback or whatever. They saw themselves getting better. And then as a team, you saw that kind of blossom last year. Like those guys believed they were the stuff.
Yeah.
I think I caught them a little bit in that South Carolina game. Maybe they believed it a little too much, had some other stuff going on in the locker room. But I mean, other than that, I don't think that'll ever happen again. You got a good football coach. That kind of stuff happens in programs. And like he pointed out in practice, I told you about, now he said he pointed back to 2 years ago to a, substitution issue they had that cost them a football game. I've been saying everyone's all, oh, Kentucky's a trap game. No, it's not. He's going to get those guys on Monday of the Kentucky game and go, hey, remember when we thought we were better in South Carolina last year? Remember how you felt? Remember how you still feel? Are we going to have that kind of game again? Are we going to have that kind of weak practice? You guys going to get mad at each other, almost like passive aggressive. And they'll want to throw up, and then they'll go right to work, and we'll do what we always do, and we'll beat the crap out of Kentucky.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about after last year's Kentucky. Yeah, please do. All right, so you as a quarterback, see Josh Heupel, this system, I mean, it just looks like fun. Is this a system 17, 18-year-old Erik Ainge wants to play in, and do you thrive in it?
So, I mean, I don't think you have to be a good runner to be for him. To be good for Josh Heupel, you have to know on every RPO, am I handing it off or am I slinging it out there real quick? And I had a quick release and a good arm. I mean, I could have easily handed it. I'm not going to keep it on the zone read. I'm going to hand if I'm not throwing it out there, I'm handing it off. But it's nice when you have that. And I think you just have seen that change in college football period. These guys that used to be shortstops and center fielders are now, they're 6'3" and playing left field hitting dingers. Now they're dual threat quarterbacks. And you just kind of seen that part of the game evolve. I don't think he has to have a guy to do that, but it's nice if you do, and I think that their system is simple, but it's complex, but it's simple, and that's what you want to do as a football coach. You're trying to make something that's really complicated as easy as you can. As a quarterback, you don't always have to know what coverage it is. You don't have to know, is it 6 quarters, 2 kick weak, 2 man. You don't have to know every time, but on some plays you got to know, is it 1 high or 2 high? Is it single high? Is it cover 1 or cover 3? Mm-hmm. Or is it some sort of 2 deep look? If it's a drop back pass, you probably need to know if it's 2 or 4, but you get one little read and you got it. And sometimes on a lot of passing plays, you just have to know what it's not. If it's I don't know what coverage it is, but I know there's 1 guy back there, so it's not 2. And as long as it's not 2, I got to play over here on the strong side. So they teach that stuff so well. And Halsley, he's the OC now, but he's still over there. I mean, he's coaching the quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So Joe's had the same voice teaching him this stuff now going on 3 years, and he's got the same guru head coach who's been grooming him and developing him mentally, physically, emotionally, leadership wise, all that stuff. And he knows it, and it's evident. The dude hadn't thrown a pick in practice. I mean, his decision making, I know his arm's great and all that stuff's great. I'm telling you right now, the thing I've been the most impressed with him in training camp is what he's choosing to do with the football. Yeah, if he plays like that, then those Sports Center plays will happen. He'll scramble and spin off a guy and throw it 85 yards, and we'll all go. But that's great. That's great. That's twice a game. I want to know on 1st and 10, is he handing it off when he's supposed to? Throwing the RPO. Is he accurate? Is he not taking sacks? Is he taking care of the football? If the dude just plays quarterback and lets Heupel's system work for him like Hooker did. Hooker wasn't a superhero. He just did what the offense allows you to do if you don't try to do too much. Once in a while, make some plays, and if you want to knock off a Bama or a Georgia, you're going to have to go 45 yards on 2 chunk plays to kick a field goal. You're not, that kind of stuff. Joe will have to do that too. to win some of those games. But he doesn't have to be a superhero to beat South Carolina or Kentucky or Florida on the road. He just has to play quarterback and let Heupel, let the system work for him.
Yeah, and they've kind of done more with less, I would say. They don't have all the dudes like a Georgia and Alabama. You're talking about knocking them off. It seems like in recruiting right now, it's only getting better. So can you kind of see this team just, here we are winning, 11 games. Is this kind of what this team's going to be? Is worrying about losing to Vanderbilt or Kentucky, is that over?
I don't think, Vandy probably. I don't know. Swan looked all right actually in that game. Their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
But I think Kentucky's not a bad football team this year. I think Leary's twice the college player that Levis is. Maybe doesn't have the NFL ceiling or whatever, but
sure. As
far as college go, that's all that matters is we're playing college football this year. Leary's a good player. Rattler, if he plays like he did at the end of the year last year when that light bulb came on for him, he's a really good player. We're going to play Frank Harris kid at UTSA has like 99 touchdowns and 11,000 yards. We're going to play against a lot of guys that are good enough to put some points up. I think the thing for Tennessee is going to be, can we be good enough on defense? We know we're going to score points. Can we be good enough on defense to have an okay day on offense and still get out of there with a win?
Yeah.
I know we beat Florida last year. That's great. But we were terrible on defense. We only beat them by 5. We were definitely 5 points better than those guys. But 38-33, you turn around and Anthony Richardson has 450 yards of passing. We're pressured. We can't sack him. He's running all over the place. Their guys are wide open. If we
can't
play
tackle.
Oh my gosh. And like, if we play like that, it's losing to Kentucky or Carolina or Florida or any of those, that's absolutely on the table. They have studs too, but if they execute and play to the, just play, they don't have to play great. If they just go out and play Tennessee football, tackle, keep it in front, play smart, don't turn it over, we're going to put up enough points that it's going to be hard for people to outscore us. And that's always probably going to be the thing with them. We don't have to have a top 5 defense. We just have to not miss 10 tackles and drop 2 picks and look back at the score and go, we gifted them 21 points. I mean, what do we want? If they just don't play like that, they'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned Florida. On paper, it's preseason. We don't know until we know, unfortunately, at this point. But Florida, this looks like one of the more, I don't want to say just terrible because they're not a terrible football team, but they're just not up to Florida standards. Not the Floridas you played. Not, certainly not the one that played in the SEC championship just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Is the Swamp going to present that much of a problem? This team hadn't won here since 2003. Is that going to, like, if this is a home game, are we almost saying like we know we should go win it? You just talked about what the team expects.
I don't think there's a player on the team that cares that we hadn't won there since 2003. These guys, most of these guys were what? We have 2 full classes that were born.
I was about to say, I think we're getting into guys that weren't even born yet. Yeah.
There's a whole class of guys that weren't even born when that happened. I don't think they care about that. I think that with football players, it's more about just the opponent you're playing. Now, that'll present a challenge because Florida will be loud. God forbid they win tomorrow, then their fans will be super hyped for that game. They'll be 2-0 going into that game, right. And here comes this highly touted Tennessee team that's a touchdown favorite in their turf. They'll be crazy, and they'll be loud, and that'll be our first crowd noise, a hostile environment of the year. Don't worry, I'm not going to say the Swamp isn't allowed this time. But I do believe that will be a challenge. I don't see us running away with that game. It's still Florida. They still 4 stars all over the field. Yeah. Again, though, can Graham Mertz, can they score enough points to beat us? Maybe, but I don't think these guys on the team look at it like, we haven't beat them since 2003. They look at it and say, we beat them by 5 last year, and we should have beat them by 20.
Yeah.
Let's go beat them by 20. I think it's a lot more with the players. It's a lot more like what's happened recently. And they should feel confident in that football game, especially, if they start the year off like they should 2-0 and they're playing good football.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the Georgia thing. Have you gotten any thank you notes? The rumor is they let like 10,000 people in there extra. Like that was the big rumor of the day. So have you gotten thank you cards from people for their first game? Like they didn't have to buy tickets for them?
It was funny. My girlfriend Susan and I were at practice the other day, and Heupel came up. I sit beside her first, and he's like, you keeping him under, keeping him out of trouble. And she was like, that's a work in progress. I'm doing my best. And he was like, full-time job. And then he said, I forget who it was, maybe Dale Jones said something. He was like, yeah, we're working on crowd noise over there. You never know when someone's going to get a whole fan base to be the loudest. And he looked around and he was like, wow, it's beautiful out here, guys. Look at this weather out here. So it's not why they lost. We couldn't block them. Not because they beat us up. But no, I mean, these guys will be ready for that environment. They've been in it before. This will be a little different maybe because last year they didn't have these kind of expectations. Guys like, us aren't sitting here going, this is a 10-2 football team. This is an 11-1 football team.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit different. It's easier to climb up. It's harder to stay there. That's why there's only a few college football programs that over the last decade or so, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama. I mean, that's about it, right? Been good for a long period of time and isn't going anywhere. I mean, it's hard to get up there. It's harder to stay. I think we're climbing up there. I think we're getting up there. I think the question will be, can they stay there? And I don't see why not, but only time will tell with that. Heupel definitely knows what he's doing. That's for sure.
What about Tony Elliott? Does he know what he's doing? Because I got to listen to you on the radio today, and I mean, my guy just literally just read off the depth chart that everybody saw yesterday.
I mean, maybe, and I even said this, dude, I was like, maybe I'm being too hard on him, but when you're a coach or a player, you go through a scouting report, you watch film. It's the first game. You've been watching film on them for a year, for 6 months, realistically, you've been watching them. And he was like, yeah, they're big. Yeah, they're big. They're big. And we were like, okay, we know they're big. And he's like, 310, 320. I was like, man, he either is disinterested or they're worried about James Madison. I don't know, but it wasn't a good look for me.
Well, he called his buddy Dabo, and he didn't have much advice for him, I'm sure. So what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Beat them by 40.
Yeah, they're big.
They're big. Those boys.
Did when y'all, I don't know if y'all had the depth chart release when you were here, but was there a lot of oars in that as well?
Was that an old joke, Landon? Was that an old joke? I don't know. I never would have paid attention. None of the guys on the team would pay attention to it if they did. I think we know who's going to be out there. It's going to be all the guys that were out there last year, and there's going to be some transfers that are out there, and there'll be some young guys that get sprinkled in. Arion Carter will play. I mean, that dude not going to start, but he'll play. And God forbid Beasley or Peely, who are both going to be really good, I think. Mm-hmm. If one of them gets hurt, Arion Carter will go in there. He may be the guy that never comes out.
Speaking of old, Peely might be the same age as you.
He's 25 years. He's a great. You know what though? He's a leader. He's really smart. I was talking to someone over there, and this is how they described Peely. They said if he would have been playing at Alabama for the last 2 years, he would have been a second or third round draft pick already and be playing in the NFL.
That's crazy.
He's at BYU, he's two-time captain and made a lot of plays, but he has an opportunity this year to be on this stage that the Southeastern Conference that Tennessee puts you on national TV and light the world on fire, man. I mean, I have really high expectations for him. He is a really good football player.
That's awesome.
Wanted to ask you too. I want to go back to recruiting real quick. We're talking about Tennessee climbing. Was Tennessee, when you got that call, were you like, I know exactly everything about them, like, let's kind of do this? Or what was that kind of process like to get to Knoxville?
So, I mean, it's a little different. The era that, it's pre-social media and all that. Obviously, I knew a lot about Tennessee. Peyton Manning had just come through there. They just won a national championship. I was a little different than some, though. I was more of a basketball and a baseball guy.
Yeah.
So I was always going to be a shooting guard or a pitcher. That was my whole life. That's what I did. And then I started playing football and started getting, a lot of looks for that. And I actually said early in my recruitment that I was going to stay in the Pac-10 at the time because I didn't know if basketball, baseball, football. I had offers at most of the schools for all three sports. And so I said, that's good enough. I'll probably just stick around here. And then Michigan called and I said I was going to stay. And then they never called again. And my uncle Danny, who spent, years in pro sports and all that, said, you only get recruited once. Don't limit it. You never know. So Coach Fulmer called. He actually had Marcus Satterfield, who was South Carolina's offensive coordinator last year. Sat called me on the phone and said, hey, this is, Marcus Satterfield, University of Tennessee. I have Philip Fulmer here to talk to you. I remember being like, oh, hey, and he was like, hey, he watched a video of me online that I did for a buddy of mine that was starting like a recruiting service, just running around in athletic shorts, throwing the ball. And he said, I want to offer you a scholarship to the University of Tennessee. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And he said, if I can get you down here, you'll want to come here. And so I kind of made my mind up then. I was like, you know what? It's why not? I'll take a trip down there. I came for the 2003 Vanderbilt game, and this is pre-social media. Everyone, the Walk knew who I was. You go to Oregon State, UCLA, you go to these places, they kind of care. They don't care. That was like,
hey, message boards were hot then, though.
Oh my gosh.
Your photo was going around to a lot of old men on message boards.
I'm walking around, and I'm like, this is crazy. So then we go into the game we're playing Vanderbilt with, and at that point, they hadn't beat us in like 20-something years. And I asked the lady, Jason Michael, used to coach in the NFL forever. It was his wife who was showing me around. And I said, if they haven't beat Tennessee in like 20-something years, why are all these people here? Because on the West Coast, guess what? They're not going to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, that's just what we do. And I was like, huh. Everyone wooed at the same time. It was crazy. And I was like, we ended up killing them. I was like, they know we're going to kill them. And it's still full. Right? Fast forward, there's been years lately where we know we're going to get killed. And it's still
show up.
I do it. I don't get it, but I do it.
World, I thank God all the time that I chose to come here. It's been great for me, and I love following this still.
So confirmed, Erik Ainge looks good in shorts. At least Philip Fulmer thought so.
Yeah, he watched me in basketball practice dunk, and he goes, man, I thought what did he say? He goes, you ought to be able to run the ball a little bit better. You can dunk off 2 feet outside the key. And I was like, yeah, it's a little different, coach. I don't know.
That agility.
No one's trying to kill me.
I was pretty young, so I don't remember. I remember like highlights of games, like 04 Florida, for example, like watching on TV, and a few of your games. I was actually in, I think UNLV, your freshman year was my first game ever. Sorry to age you like that again, but I don't remember on TV, but nowadays the Danny Ainge being your uncle would have been repeated 1,000 times a broadcast, like the Dobbs report card storyline. Yeah. Was it? Did you get a lot of questions about that? I'm just curious. Like, what was ESPN like that? Okay.
Yeah, they did that all the time. He actually came to the 06 Cal game.
Okay.
And Danny is BYU's Peyton. He's like Peyton to us. Danny is BYU's Peyton.
Gotcha.
And he came here and he was like, oh my gosh. I mean, this guy played in Boston Garden.
Right.
He played in Yankee Stadium. I mean, he's like played all over the place. And he came here for that 06 Cal game. And that was a unique game too, because we should have been good the year before. I was banged up. We were all hurt. We ended up being really bad. And it wasn't just the players that had that. You asked a question earlier about that pent up, game one. Of all the games I ever played in my life, I've never been around a fan base or coaching staff or players that were all on the same page and so ready to scream or hit somebody. We knocked the dude out on the opening kickoff. They couldn't even hear themselves talk on the sideline. They literally couldn't even, I know Bama was loud last year, but there were times in that 06 Cal game when you could still have 107,000 people in there where it was so loud that even when we were on offense, you're screaming the play in the huddle. Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Do you still see a ton of, I see them often, sometimes on like sorority girls and stuff, but the number 10 jerseys still?
Dude, they're all old Adidas bought from Goodwill or hand-me at this point. But yeah, they're out there still. I always point them. I'm like, hey, look, there's still someone's got a 10 on.
Yeah. So what do you think about Elijah Simmons wearing 10 this year?
I mean, we've had some average 10s over the years. I'm not gonna lie. I love Squirrel. I think he's gonna kill it. But I love it. I like when the big boys wear the little numbers.
Okay.
But you feel it. If you're going to be 300 plus pounds and have a single or a small digit, you better be a baller. So you need to be healthy this year and have a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I think we were talking about the other night. If an offensive lineman's good, let him wear a 10. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I don't know why we're limiting.
Darnell Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been perfect. Trey Smith would have been a good candidate to wear a single digit. I think your best offensive lineman should be able to wear whatever number they want.
I agree with that. What are you going to do? Tell them no?
Exactly.
Yeah, good luck. If you don't want them to, you have to deliver the news to Trey Smith.
You have to get it off his back. There you go. You wear it, you can take it off.
And you only got sacked 3 times your senior year, if I read that correctly. So
NCAA record. No one will ever break it.
Yeah, no, not in this day and age for sure. So would you give the 10 jersey off your back for one of those offensive linemen?
Would I have let them wear the 10?
Yeah, y'all swap jerseys.
Again, what am I going to do? Tell them no?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good point. Starting at quarterback, number 64.
Yeah.
Erik.
That'd
Honestly,
be awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome. Like that'd be Heath Schiller times like 4, right?
Yeah, right.
What was your favorite uniform combo? You actually got to wear, unlike a lot of Tennessee players until 2015, you got to wear a throwback.
I'm lame like that. I never even paid attention to it or cared. I still am kind of like that. Like, I know everybody cares about uniforms. As long as when we put the TV on, you know exactly who's playing. That's my biggest beef. Like Oregon and some teams that put it on, and you're like, who's that? Who's that playing? Like, one of the cool things about Tennessee is as soon as they're on TV, you know who it is. Right. So that's that. I guess I kind of care about that. A new combo this year. They're gonna. But I mean, I'm old school like that. I like basic uniforms.
So you didn't get juice for the orange pants when you saw them in the locker? You weren't like, oh yeah.
No. A bunch of the guys got excited about it, and I remember being like, "This is stupid. You still have to play the game. Who cares?"
Hey, look good, feel good, play good. That's what I say.
I was the try to feel the best I can and make it through the game.
Yeah. Also, like your unique armbands that you did, like halfway up, and Olivier Commois did them, and I referred to him as Erik Ainge at one point, but I don't know if that. Like, I don't know if he played better or not.
Homer lied to me. He told me I'd get used to the heat. It still hasn't happened. I would sweat so much at practice and in game that I had to wear long sleeves and then roll the sleeves up. So early, I tried the wristbands. That didn't get it. So if you notice, like my junior and senior year, I always have the white, like, thermal long sleeve neoprene shirt on. And then I would roll it up just to make it to where I could, like, not drop the football.
That's probably smart, considering your job.
Down south humidity. If you're born in it, you got a chance. If not, it's real.
Yeah. I mean, I was born here, and I still don't think I'm really cut out for it. So this weekend, Nashville, you going, number one?
Yep. Susan and I are heading Friday, and we're going to got us a hotel downtown, and we're going to go support our Vols.
Heck yeah. What do you think about neutral site games? You love them, hate them?
I mean, it's more fun to play at home.
Yeah.
But
1000%.
I mean, I don't like have like a super hot take on them like some people do. I get why they do it. I will say this though, learning that the coach's dead period ends tomorrow and Friday is like open. We're going to have an entire staff in Nashville going to every high prospects games on Friday night in Nashville. Yeah. And that's a win. No one else is playing there. No one cares if Tony Ellis goes. We're gonna have Josh Hyde. We're gonna have all these guys at every 5- and 4-star player in Nashville going to watch them play. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Brentwood Academy, Innsworth, Lipscomb Academy,
all of them are.
Yeah. That's kind of all I got. One last question, Caleb. Do you have another question?
Yeah. So we're going down to Nashville. We'll be there on Friday as well. We're gonna be at Thomas Edwards, another VFL. He's doing his release party for Running Through the T, his new song.
Cool.
One word, one sentence, couple words, Running Through the T. What's it like? Like, what is that feeling? What's it mean to you?
Man, I got upset because I didn't get to start my first game. He let Britt Schaefer start the first game. So he got the first 2 series, and I got the next. So we both started, but Brent became the first true freshman to start game 1 of an SEC football schedule ever. And I remember being like, man, that'd be cool. Then I ran through the T, and I could feel my heart beating in my shoulder pads, and I felt like a linebacker, like I was going to kill somebody. And when I was like, I'm so glad I don't have to go play quarterback right now. I'd probably go Milton 2021 times 1,000. I throw that 100 yards past somebody. So, but it never gets old. I think that's the cool thing. It's just as exciting every single time you do it. It's that cool that it just never gets old.
I film it every time. I don't know why. I usually don't even send it out, but I film it every time.
Yep. That's awesome. I love it. I'm with Landon. I film it. I do miss something from my childhood, your playing days. We don't get the camera flashes from everywhere anymore at night. And don't get that. I hate that. But I guess we've replaced it with fireworks and the tea lights up. So,
Well, yeah, it's still
Yeah,
cool.
we adapt.
So I got one last question. What would you rather be? Would you rather be a punt returner with no blockers or the police officer in Athens, Georgia that has to keep calling Kirby Smart?
Oh man.
I like that Landon's trying to get you in hot water with Georgia fans again. This is fun.
So I'm gonna go punt returner, no blockers,
Okay.
because I've been hit like that. We played at Cal my senior year, and it was early. I don't know if you remember the play, but it was a sack fumble, and they picked it up and returned it for a touchdown. And it's a slide protection. So the line all goes one way, and then the back goes the other way and goes and chops down the end man on the line of scrimmage. Usually it's a D end or whoever, or a guy blitzing, whoever the last guy is on the line. The running back goes away from the slide and chops him down, and then you kind of have that, it's slide protection. So I'm under center, and I'm dropping back, and the line's sliding right. And then as I'm looking downfield, I see Arian flash in front of me, and he's not supposed to be in front of me. He's supposed to be on the other side. And I remember going, because I knew that, and they were blitzing, but I was fine. Who cares, right? They blitz. If you got it blocked, I mean, those are touchdowns. So I'm dropping back, eyes big, like, let's go. And then I see Arian go in front of me. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, right in the back. Ball goes flying. They picked it up and scored. So now I was literally just standing there, and he had like 20 yards to run as fast as he couldn't hit me. So been there, done that. I'll be the punt returner.
All right. That's probably a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay away from the Georgia stuff. Do you think Georgia's intimidating now? Have you changed your take?
It was very loud last year. They did do a good job. I don't like to think I had that much power to make them loud for the first.
No.
That might have been a surreal moment to be like, all right.
So like, and they're a rejuvenated fan base, and they have the best football program in the country right now. So that's why they were loud. But when we used to play there, it was not intimidating and it was not loud. You didn't have to worry about too much crowd noise or anything like that. But I'll give them that now. Looks like from last year moving forward, it does look like it will be a loud, hostile place to play.
Yeah. Yeah. The coolest thing they have is the bushes. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
I mean, the barking stuff's got to go though. Like if you're a grown man, like, come on, like don't.
Yeah.
That I get on board with, but it was loud. I'll give that. I'll give it to them. It was loud.
You want to give us a record prediction? You got one? Have you made one yet?
So I'm saying that if this is my scenario, if Tennessee wins their games, goes to Tuscaloosa, fights it out, doesn't win, loses to Alabama at Alabama, and then hosts Georgia as a one-loss team, that game will be for the East. And if we're playing them here with our fans in our stadium and everything's on the line, I think we have a legitimate chance to do that. So I'm gonna say either 10-2 or 11-1, but it would not shock me if we're playing them in November for a chance to win the division in the last year of division play. Man, Knoxville will be. We'll say South Carolina is going to be the craziest it's been in a while, and just a few weeks later it'll be Georgia, and Georgia will be the craziest that it's been here in a while. And they won't be able to hear, and they'll have to deal with all that. So somewhere in that 10 or 11 win team, if they stay healthy. If Joe stays healthy, Joe's got to stay healthy. Nico's going to be great. I don't know how ready he is yet. He's going to be a great player, but if Joe stays healthy and plays the way he can, then there's no reason that we shouldn't be that good.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the take on the Georgia game because that is spoken like a true Vol fan. I mean, that is 28-year Vol fan. That's it.
That's it. I mean,
you're in it.
Game is for all that, then I mean, this whole fan base in this town will be all in on it. It'll be nuts.
Oh yeah, it'll be a madhouse. South Carolina is going to be a madhouse too. I mean, there's a couple games on the schedule. I'm like, that's going to be insane. That's going to be insane. That's going to be insane.
I just can't wait to see the arrest report after the South Carolina game because I think there's going to be a lot of built-up aggression.
Oh, we'll be fired up. That'll kind of be like that 06 Cal game I was telling you about. Our fans will be just as excited as anybody.
Yeah.
Man, I really appreciate it. Hope we can do this again soon and talk some more about your time and then obviously the expectations for the Vols. Before we let you go, just a reminder, everybody, you can listen to him every day, 9 to 12 with Brian Rice. We will mention Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. I apologize. But yeah, you can listen to him there, follow him on Twitter, all that good stuff. We appreciate it, Eric. I really do.
No problem, guys.
See you, brother.
Yeah.
All right, we are back. That was VFL quarterback Erik Ainge. Great interview. Great to have him on. We've been meaning to have him on for a while and just haven't had the opportunity, but really appreciate him taking the time to do that and getting us fired up for this football season that starts. I'm trying to count down the hours. It's a lot of math. A little bit over 24 hours, 24 hours, maybe 30, 36 hours, something like that away. Sounds close. Jody Stone says, great show, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate y'all listening in. When Caleb gets back, Joey, if you want to hop in, or Dylan, or anybody, we can start getting our picks together. Let's get this rolling. Joey Booth, what's up, brother?
What up, playa? It's gonna be these picks are gonna be. I was all over the board today and didn't finalize like everything, so like I'm still on the action on the bubble deciding what direction to go. I still have a good idea, but
Okay.
and I did want to go. I'm mad that I didn't. I was gonna take the Utah spread tonight, and it looks like it's playing out well. But
Yeah, can we just go ahead? Florida is trash.
Well,
They
that's why
are
I figured
so
it was
bad.
a good lay not to go because it's either a win-win or a lose-lose. Well, or I balanced it out because I didn't take the pick, which sucks, but I know Florida sucks. So that like I can feel a little better knowing that Florida sucks. It would have really sucked if I would have picked Utah and then Florida was good because then I'm like, I only am now 0-1 and Florida's good. And then I got to worry about them. And I'd rather them suck and not worry about it.
Is that like the worst thing that you can do as a coach is like go to Florida and be bad? There's no reason why Florida should be bad at football ever.
Yeah. Because Florida's that mid team where it's not like so structured of a dynasty that like if someone goes to Bama is bad. Like, but yeah, if you're a Bama coach and you're,
I love that like a week ago they're like, oh, Swamp Kings, like everybody's talking about us. Right. Here we go, and I mean, just abysmal, just absolutely terrible. Graham Mertz is bad. They don't have any receivers. Their offensive line is terrible. I think they already given up 3 sacks. They had 2 players with the same number on the field at one time. So, yeah, they're just not great. So, that makes you feel good for going to the Swamp in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Loving that.
As insignificant as it is, like first half of Florida-Utah game, it makes me feel 7% better. Like if I was on a scale of 100 about being, worried about Tennessee slipping up on certain games this season, I can feel a little better.
80 yards on his other.
There he is.
Sorry, I was finishing up dishes. I didn't see it go away.
Okay, you're good.
Hey, pre-recorded interviews, baby. Take advantage.
Yeah, you got that TV up too, don't you?
Oh, my bad.
No copyright.
D
did have 5 minutes left to go, so it looked like it wasn't done, and then it was just done.
So do we want to start picks?
Yeah, let's do it. Is Dylan? What's Dylan got going on? People in the background.
He's eating cool rap.
Man, is that a party?
Yeah. Not a cool rap. He's like in the kitchen whipping up something. That man eats dinner at like 11 o'clock. I mean, he's late to dinner.
All right, so we teased it. We actually gave it away. I don't know if anyone caught on, but we did tease it. I'm glad you guys got in here in time for picks because me and Landon decided that if y'all weren't, your punishment was just going to be that you all had to do it no matter what. So glad you all made it. All right, so we're doing our locks this year. Same format Landon and I have. Dylan, you can let yourself in, dog. Same format, 4 of them. We did do it a little bit different just to make it more of a competition. 2 spreads, 2 over-unders. You can substitute a spread for money line, no better or no worse odds, I guess, than minus 120. Is that correct? Can we do that?
Yeah.
110 or 120?
We'll do, I think 120. 110's a pick'em game, so we'll get it a little bit better than that. Loser has to go. Last couple of weeks, been talking full kit wanker. Loser has to go full pads, thigh pads, knee pads, everything. You don't have to wear the helmet necessarily. You will at some point because we'll have to take a picture, but you have to carry the helmet to the game. You got to go full kit wanker to the home opener. Who is the home opener next year?
Do you have to get in the game?
Yeah, you have to.
So, like, security. I'm not sure the standards on full kit.
I've seen helmets get in, and then that dude that sits in like Y or sits in like Y9 or something like that, he wears pads to every game. He's on the jumbotron all the time. So
Hey, just in case they need somebody out in the stands, that man's ready.
Yeah, so I don't see a reason you couldn't get into the game wearing pads.
I'm about it.
We'll get you in. I think you could just walk through the players' tunnel. I mean, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that, dude. I'm tied in number 4.
You go full Erik Ainge on him, just wandering into a game you're not playing in. I appreciate him hopping on though. Sorry that I wasn't here in time to bring that in. What'd you say, Joey? Sorry.
Well, I was saying it was a little scary because like I'm doing a fantasy draft right now. We have these awful punishments where I'm like, I'm never coming last in fantasy. I could do okay in these, but I already start off with a 25% chance of having to go full kit. I mean, it's a little stressful. So
to be fair, that's like I was telling someone, it's not that I necessarily have a problem with it. Like I'll do it. Like the punishment's not that bad. It's the thought that there's 99 or whatever, 99,995 people there who have no clue what I'm doing. And that kind of sucks. But other than that, it's like, it's not that embarrassing.
I'm trying to think.
You can just wear your helmet the whole time and they'll never even know who you are. That's the pro move.
Can we wear a visor?
Yes. I think you have to wear a visor. We'll get an Oakley tinted.
I feel like
I think you should wear goggles.
Normal. Rec specs?
Yeah.
I think we have to wear. You can wear a visor, but you have to have rec specs on for the entirety of the game.
I'm about it.
All right, perfect. This is locked in. I'm excited about this. It'll be fun. It'll also be fun for the punishment's going to be the most fun part. So,
yeah.
All right, let's get it going. Let's get it rolling. Who's up first?
Like one spread each and then go around.
Yeah, Caleb, you go first.
We'll snake it. So we'll go clockwise. I assume it's the same for everybody. Me, Landon, Joey, Dylan. Dylan, you'll be the first of the second round here. Also, you can overlap picks. You don't have to.
Okay, I was about to say.
We're not stealing picks. We're not stealing.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up my bet slip because I did put these in. One of these I put in prior to the game, and it actually worked out worse for me because the odds got better for me. Plus 4.5 Florida, and it's looking terrible.
So 0-1. All right.
I hedged emotions. I mean, you all saw me cheer for Utah earlier. There's no question where my allegiance is at currently,
which is good.
Well, we do have a question. I know me and Joey were talking about it a second ago, but Dalton Gurrell, I hope I said that right. He said, "Any thoughts on the Utah and Florida game?" Yeah, Florida sucks.
Plain and simple.
I mean, holy crap! They can't do any. They can't even line up.
Yeah, I hope this is week 3, whatever it is. Same Florida team.
Yeah.
We also have more questions. Let's do these though, and then we'll get to the questions.
Okay. I have the Michigan ECU over 51.5.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think Michigan might do that by themselves. So.
Let's see. What was that, Landon?
Michigan ECU over 51.5.
All right.
ECU, just help me out.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the one that I hated the most, but I think I'm changing up strategy this year. I'm going to stick to my gut. I'm going to stick to what I know what my values are based on, and I know I hate Penn State with a passion. And as much as I think that they're going to be good, and I think West Virginia is going to come in and actually give them a game, I'm still going under 50.5 because I think Penn State's going to drop a stinker. I think it might be like 24 to 17. No, I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter because the under's hitting. So
okay,
I think West Virginia is going to give Penn State a little bit more of a game, but under 50.5 for Penn State, West Virginia.
All right. Dylan.
Can't believe none of us have overlapped yet, to be honest.
It's going to happen.
You haven't even had your first pick yet.
I know, but
go on. Good Lord.
I didn't think there was a ton of good value throughout it, but anyway.
I didn't.
Go ahead and pick the LSU Florida State game. Come on.
I feel like this one might be too obvious, so it might backfire on me, but Alabama and TSU over 51.5. I don't know. I feel like that's
a fair move. I mean, Alabama's minus 39. So MTSU basically just needs to maybe score a touchdown, maybe
Get some points.
a field goal. 49 for Bama. 49-3 gets it done. It's not all that awful.
All right, Dylan. Second one.
Second one, we're going Miami minus 16.5.
All right. Dang.
Who does
Wait,
Miami
which one?
play?
Which one?
Miami, Florida.
Okay, just wanted to be clear on that.
Who do they play?
Miami, Ohio.
Oh, Miami.
Hell, the Miamis. Yeah.
That's why I asked which Miami.
Yeah.
Come on, Landon. You don't know about the Maction? You don't know about Mac?
It's
Where the
Friday
real
night.
Miami's at?
No, I just didn't know. I didn't know that they were playing each other. I know Miami, Ohio.
And then I said which Miami.
It's the Mo.
Okay, I guess you didn't get it because it still could have been the other Miami. But I meant because they were playing each other.
Yeah,
You took the Miami 16.5.
You're good.
Which one are you taking to cover? Because they're both 16. Okay. You get it. Joey?
Man, even looking at it now, it still stresses me out. I don't think LSU. I think LSU's good, and I don't think Florida State's good. But Florida State's at home, and everyone's excited. And I mean, we can talk about Hurricane. We can get emotional. I'll take FSU +2. It's a crazy lay, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But again, I'm trusting my gut, and I'm going anti-SEC here. And I just know that my values are better than my sports betting.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go opposite of you. LSU
Oh.
minus 2.5.
Oh,
Let's go. Wait, so if you got it 2.5, should I get it 2.5? If it was,
you said 2.5, didn't you?
I mean, I think it was 2.5 when I had it earlier. I didn't screenshot it, but it's at 2 now. It moved to 2.
Oh, it's at 2? Okay, yeah, we'll take that then.
Okay, whatever.
Wait.
I mean, it's only.
What did you get it at, Landon? What's the bet slip say? Have you bet it yet?
No, I haven't.
All right.
Actually,
You have to-
I've
you
just
have to put it
taken.
in.
I
better
took
put it
them
in
money
now.
line and then Tulane money line. I just have that to make the odds plus odds.
Okay. See, I wrote it down in my notes. We'll have to do screenshots so we can capture the spread at the moment.
Wait, we have to bet on
laid
all
out the
these?
rules.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you have to bet. I think you have to bet what you have. I think we need to see
hate
slips.
betting over
That's fair.
overs.
That's
I
fair.
hate it.
I think you have to do it. Hey, put $5 on it. Like,
Yeah.
put
Yeah,
a
that's true,
dollar.
because-
I think put a dollar on it. I think you just have to bet it. And I think
There's some
for these
capacity.
bets to count, we need bet slips.
You got to believe in what you're preaching. You got
I
to.
think I've got my bet slips. And my second one, I'm going opposite. No overlap still, but I am going opposite of Joey again. I'm taking Penn State WVU over, personally. Here's my thoughts.
That's such a square play, dude.
West Virginia's defense, is abysmal. And then in my head, I can just see like a Big Ten type weird game, 24-24 at the end with a field goal to win it. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, what did you pick? Sorry.
Penn State, West Virginia over.
Okay, over.
We're gonna be
And it's,
battling now. It's gonna be fun.
50.5. Yeah, I mean, we're all like really pushing against each other week one.
I like it. That's good.
All right, my next one. I think someone else said they had maybe something similar to this too. This is Tulane minus 6.5. South Alabama. They also put maybe a little misstep, Tony Elliott type misstep their direction. They put like Home of Mardi Gras on the back of their helmet. South Alabama did, so a little interest there.
Next one, I'm going. What did I do? It was Washington minus 14 over Boise State.
Ooh,
I looked at that one. It's a good sleeper play.
I don't like that you all are setting yourself up for pushes. That kind of pisses me off, but it's fun.
I mean, I'll do it at 13.5.
You got two potential pushes here already.
Should we make a rule right now that pushes count as a loss?
No. We'll take the tie.
Yeah, we'll do a tie.
They say ties are like kissing your sister until ties win it for you, huh?
Did Landon just go?
Yeah.
Me.
I wasn't paying attention. The snake drafts messed me up. I'm still in fantasy draft mode. All right. Hawaii +3 against Stanford. Hawaii stinks and Vandy stinks, but Hawaii looked better against Vandy than I thought they would. and Stanford kind of stinks. Plus wildfires and stuff. I'm going to play the emotional game again. I'm just going.
Ooh, okay.
My system for the first week. If I go 0-4,
Tragedy card.
racing the system. Yeah, we're gonna. That's what I'm saying. They're 0-1. Like, no one starts 0-2. You can't bring it back to the mainland and then lose another game. That's just it doesn't work like that.
Is Virginia doing the same thing?
Do what?
God.
Joey's on the league script.
Sorry, I just had.
I do like
go Dylan. Just move on from it. I was hoping somebody would just talk.
It's not. I didn't take that, but I do like it. Hawaii +3. I'm with you there. But my next one was North Carolina, South Carolina under 64.5.
I like that.
I like that.
I feel like it's going to be a close game, but not score very much.
All right. I think Spencer Rattler fall from grace.
Yeah, I think he just sucks.
Yeah, not a fan.
And both defenses. I mean, UNC's defense has got to be better than South Carolina's.
Oh, I've got to go again, don't I?
You do. That's how snake drafts work.
Bingo.
My other one was still North Carolina -2.5.
Ooh,
I doubled that.
Doubling down. Damn.
All right. I like it. I like both of those.
Same game.
I really do.
No balls.
I'm gonna do it. I hate them.
I love when a bet starts like that.
I know, and again, like this is just it's so opposite for me thinking about it. I'm taking OSU on the road at Indiana -30. I'm doing it. It sounds so wrong. And I hate Ohio State, and I hate Urban Meyer, and it's.
Whoa. Also, that is like my thought process. Every Saturday morning bet I put in is like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I've got to try something else. The system plays for me. The square plays are not working. They're just not. I don't want to look back at last year, but I will if I got to, keep myself going on this path.
Y'all think Utah's just going to keep scoring on Florida?
God, I hope so.
I think it'll only be a 10-point game at the end, but
scoring.
You think?
I hope not. I hope Utah just, for both our sakes, that's Caleb's fault for picking Florida.
They're up 14 at half, and it's
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah,
if Florida loses this game, you're welcome.
We should give Caleb a free. No, never mind. We're not.
No, I don't need the free play. I took Florida.
Lakers on the line. All right. Sorry, Caleb.
I took Florida. I was somewhat happy. All right, Landon, last one.
Last one I got USF Western Kentucky under 70. If you're getting 70 points, I'm taking the under. That's a system play.
Unless it's coastal. Unless it's coastal. You rod coastal. They can put 110 on that one. Coastal
Chadwell's gone. That
doesn't matter. It's coastal. It's the Chanticleers. They still play on the same field. They're wearing the same uniforms. It's coastal, baby. It's coastal. My last one, it's easy. It's easy. It's an easy play. Can't believe no one else had it. It's Tennessee over 56.
How are we doing Tennessee games this year? I mean,
I have a play for Tennessee.
I think you have to play. I think you have to play the Tennessee over. I think Tennessee might hit that over themselves.
No, the over points in the first quarter is 13.
I like that play. I like the Landon, you had 4 different wide receivers scoring touchdowns in your predictions, and you're not willing to say 56 hits?
Well, the total is 49 too. I'm taking that.
Did you take the over under, Caleb, or did you take Tennessee -28?
I took Tennessee over 56. I didn't touch the spread. Okay. I took it over 56.
Cool. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's why the spread. Okay. Spread played weird. If we would have,
I don't like that many points in any college football game. That's why 30 is
11
nerve-wracking for me.
Against the spread last year. Money machine. Yeah. But now this year they're going to be bumped up. So 4 touchdowns. I don't love it, but I like the over. It gives you something to cheer for. Points.
Yeah, that's all I want, baby. 50 burger. Landon's out here saying they're going to throw a 50 burger down. Doesn't expect Virginia to score 6 points. Come on, man. Come on. Why are you hating on their kicker?
They actually have the best punter in the ACC.
Well, he doesn't kick field goals, so.
He might.
I guess he could. Michael Pilardi up in here.
Yeah. All right. Stupidity.
Let's get into it. One more question. This one came from my good friend Sam Mitchell. How many touches did Dylan Sampson get on Saturday?
I'm gonna
He might have-
go
$1 million.
7.
Okay.
I was gonna say 10. I hope it's higher than 7, just for the sake of second half. Let
Yeah,
everybody-
maybe. I mean, I don't know. Do they consider him as like a second teamer?
I don't think they necessarily consider him as a second teamer, but I think at least, you said Nico might play the entire fourth quarter. I think he's playing at least half the fourth. I think they're gonna get him touches when they can.
Yeah, I don't think you wait for Dylan Sampson until it's not like a Nico situation. I mean, I'm assuming he gets mixed in a little bit. I mean, obviously he's third, but I would imagine somewhere with a 3.5 touchdown lead, you start mixing them in at least just some different options and stuff.
I mean, I think he gets touches with the ones, and then I think he's also still in the game in the fourth quarter. So
Correct.
For sure.
a lot of touches, Sam. A lot of touches. All right, stupidity.
Stupidity. Dude, I got Florida.
Oh, talk to me.
Well, I love this that the College Football Talk Daily tweeted last time the Florida Gators played a non-conference road game outside the state of Florida was 1991. So they played at Utah tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But the picture he used was a number 3, and Florida got flagged for having 2 number 3s on the field at the same time. So just love the irony. Also, why is Kanye West like butt naked on a boat?
What does that have to do with Florida?
It doesn't have to do anything with
Oh,
Florida,
okay,
but
okay.
That's another stupidity.
That is a good.
I mean, there's
that is
water, so maybe it does have to do something with Florida.
Jim
It was
McElwain,
either-
is Jim McElwain with him?
Well, maybe his swamp ass. I don't know. Like,
Are they humping sharks? Is that why?
no, he was just
you
like
thought of it.
he was like getting dome on a boat, but he's just like
That's
sitting.
that's
with
what
his
was
ass
happening
out.
in my
Is he butt naked doing that?
no.
Or is he just pants
You
down?
can see
He looked
yeah,
like a
man,
toddler. He looks like
yeah.
a toddler at the trough.
Yeah,
You
it's
can-
around the waist, or
Going on.
around the thighs, belt.
It's actually how
down.
Landon pees still.
Yeah.
I got a picture
Cheeks
of it
out.
to prove it.
No hands, baby.
Okay, I've got the Grace McDermott. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she does, but she wrote an entire article about the structural integrity of Nissan Stadium and how the game may be moving to Neyland. How are you that dumb? How are you so dumb that you write the entire article? Like, you had to sit down and write that article. At some point, does it not click that this may not be real? No one else has tweeted it, by the way. She has one tweet to verify it.
Well,
I just don't get how
she's
someone's
hoping
so
that
dumb.
that they play in Neyland because Virginia will actually show up.
Right. It's amazing to me. It's true. Like, I've got plenty. I get the initial reaction where you're like, oh crap. But you wrote an article on it.
Is that before or after Richard G's tweet?
She used, that's the only tweet about it. That's what she
because
used.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't use one tweet as your basis to write a blog post. There's no way that
They're like,
It's
can't
hard.
be first, but I can be second.
signs me up.
It's mind-boggling, man. It's also still shout out to Richard G. West. The man does it again. I mean,
I honestly thought
he don't miss.
I
He
didn't
does
think
do
it
this.
would go this far. It's gotten worse. I mean, it's gotten significantly worse.
He gets ESPN all the time.
It's incredible.
I mean, about the field
Yeah,
goal
to be
stuff,
fair to Grace McDermott, like more professional people have fallen for it than her. So, and she's writing for like DraftKings. So,
Well, and it's not like, I mean, his bio and his picture are not like I've seen way better accounts. Like, he's basically like that. It's almost another punch in the face when you go back and like look at it and you're like, come on, this is the most photo. Like, it's just the fakest. I had a friend text me today, like, oh, dude, the game got moved. Like, are they switching the tickets over for like Knoxville? I'm like, the game's not in Knoxville, dude. Like, what?
God, those poor old souls on Facebook that stay in Knoxville this weekend show up to Neyland.
It happens every time he tweets. There are people that are expecting to show up to Neyland for Austin Peay, thinking that it's going to be the Austin Peay Piggly Wiggly Stadium. Or whatever he tweeted out about it. Like, that's people will be like, what's happening? I thought they changed the name, the logo.
I mean, there's probably people who think the Food City thing's a joke because of the Richard G. West Piggly Wiggly thing.
Which is fair. I would.
Yeah. Got to be careful, man.
If I saw like a couple tweets about it, I'd be like, yeah, Richard West is just.
It's only a matter of time until one of the official accounts, football, basketball, baseball, falls for a Richard G. West tweet.
Is that Endgame? Is that like the goal there? Is that like you
Yeah.
you get a tweet up next to Stephen A. Smith up on ESPN or something like that, or Marty Smith or somebody reports on it?
I think it comes to a finale, a closing, when Danny White like quote tweets like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
can you believe this?"
I think it's hilarious.
Oh, I love it so much.
No, it's awesome.
Also think it's like it makes me second guess everything that I read on the internet now. I'm like, is that real?
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Right.
Which is
Richard G. West just doing the Lord's work out here.
Yeah, he's making. I mean,
It's making us all skeptical.
you can't read anything. You can't believe anything you read on the internet.
There's a guy that does news stories, and he just pretends to have some sort of like connection from his past about it or something. And I mean, this guy has like 10 million followers. I mean, like this is like he's so invested in his picture. It's a Amiri King. I don't know if you guys have seen his pictures. Him basically butt naked, sitting like this on a chair with like a something covering his. And it's like if you look at his profile picture, all reputability goes out the door. So like this guy is literally getting hundreds of thousands of quote tweets.
I love it. So
Common
much.
knowledge is a small fraction of people.
This segment.
Apparently.
That's yes.
I have another X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So Elon Musk tweeted today, video and audio calls coming to X. Works on iOS, Android, Mac, and PC. No phone number needed. X is the effective global address book. That set of factors is unique. Didn't he just describe Facebook Messenger? Am I crazy?
Yeah. It's Instagram.
Similar.
You can call and text somebody. Snapchat. You can call and text somebody.
I know for a fact you can text over Messenger. I'm 99% sure you can at least
You can call.
like face call someone, like FaceTime.
Yeah.
Let me just test this out real quick.
Yeah, I'm getting a call.
Okay, all right. Oh, I forgot to do something. Who do you think had the worst bet? By the way, I guess we can do about this in stupidity.
Of all of us.
Worst bet.
Or do you think any of them are just really bad? Here, let's find out.
Joe
if
Florida
any of them,
State.
let's find out if let's find out if any of them are really bad. You'll know in just a minute. That son of a, I'm gonna call him till he answers. This is the worst better I know. I don't think I've ever seen him win a bet. If he doesn't answer, I'm gonna be really disappointed.
He's in Texas. He's not going to answer.
I warned him. All right, Chad. This is Chad Mitchell. He's on More Important Issues. You're on More Important Issues. Chad, give us your lock for the week, man. What are you riding heavy on? What are you putting a whole 10 cents on?
My lock of the week. Who is I'm driving, I can't look. Who's Georgia Tech playing?
Georgia Tech plays Louisville.
Georgia Tech plays Louisville. Sorry, you can't hear Landon. My bad. Georgia Tech plays Louisville.
I'm taking Louisville. Georgia Tech sucks.
And you heard it here first.
Count it.
Who's Wyoming playing?
Chad, I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. You want me to die? Texas Interstate?
See, I like the strategy though. It's just pick a team that he knows suck, and then no matter who they're playing.
That's a fair point, Joe. That's actually, Chad, I'm impressed by your betting strategy. That's a good point. You're just picking teams that you know suck and you bet against them. That's better than your normal strategy, whatever it is. If you have one, I don't know. I really don't know.
Lose?
Yeah, lose. I guess. I have no clue.
Wyoming plays Texas Tech, and they're minus 630 to win.
Wyoming plays Texas Tech. What's the spread?
It's 14.
14.
I think it's like
It's 14.
15-ish.
Yeah, 14. Yeah. I actually like that. Chad, I may not fade you this week. Congratulations. You win.
Thanks.
All right. Love you. Be safe.
Love you.
There's going to be one week where he picks one of our bets, and you're going to know it's the dumbest thing you've ever picked in your entire life.
You're just going to immediately cash out.
Yeah. So I would say fade that, but I'm with you. That's a pretty good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I may not fade them. I don't know if I'll play them for the sole reason that Chad picked them.
Yeah. Too risky for me.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you can call people on Facebook already. So Elon's way behind.
We're late to the party, but somehow first.
Yeah.
My stupidity is Spectrum. I don't know if you guys saw, but 7:55, maybe right before the coverage was supposed to switch. I don't know who still has Spectrum. I'm not in touch with cable world nowadays, if that's even what that's happening. But right before the Florida broadcast was supposed to start, they started their basically middle fingers to Disney. They said we're like trying to be in agreements and we're not going to play ESPN. So
Interesting.
Pick till the very last second before game starts and say, oh, well, if you have Comcast, you're not watching the game. Or whatever I said.
Spectrum. Yeah.
Spectrum.
I got you. Cable sucks, man. If you have cable, I hate that for you. Which YouTube TV did go through that with somebody last year. I can't remember who.
Was it not ESPN?
I don't remember there ever being a lapse in ESPN. There might have been talks of them. They never had blackout, I should say. If there was negotiation issues, it never blacked out.
Yeah.
Like NBC or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Which, who cares?
People had an uproar about it, so I feel like it had to be something semi-popular.
I mean, I remember thinking like that would suck. So it could have been NBC because that would suck for Premier League, but I have Peacock because you can only watch one game on NBC. So you have to have Peacock to watch games you want to watch.
That's true. Unless you're an MLS fan, you have Apple TV, don't you?
I do, but don't you have to pay extra for MLS? I do not do that.
I don't think so. I think there's some games that come on that you can watch there for free.
Okay. Well,
at least I've done it on your account. So if you got an extra charge, just let me know. I'll Venmo you.
I'm just going to tell you now that you owe me more. You shouldn't have done that.
No, you're going to have to show me proof. I'm not just going to pay you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I know where you live. The games weren't, those League Cup games weren't on Apple. What did I watch those on? I just watched those on YouTube TV, whatever they were on. I don't know.
Maybe.
Cable sucks was the whole point of this tangent.
I can't wait for this weekend.
I can't either. I think I had one more I wanted to share with you all. Maybe with some more questions. Hold on. Oh, we got to talk about this. Eric Gilbert. What the hell are you doing?
God, dude.
That's that's legitimately the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I love, like, it's out of a movie. Like, the stupid thief goes in there and gets everything, and then when he comes out, the cops are just waiting on him. It was awesome.
Are you saying Eric Gilbert's life is a movie? Is that what you're saying right now?
God, for him, I'm sure it's like a horror film because what a waste.
Yeah, that's insane. Also, not a good look on I think you tweeted, Landon, on the NIL at Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't get this man paid a little bit?
The dude's just trying to get some vapes, bro. Like,
90,000 people showed up to their volleyball game. What's
dude, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was – I will – let me give you my hot take, though. And I'm not saying because, like, Nebraska, like, volleyball is very popular there. 90,000 is insane. I think some of the fans may have showed up just to, like, not lose their home sellout streak so that they could – because I would have put an asterisk there if they hadn't sold it out, personally.
Yeah.
But credit to them. They did it.
It's cool Nebraska community vibes. It felt cool. I mean, obviously they tossed in, like, the musical performance, but they sold 87,000 tickets before they even announced who the musical guest was, and I still don't know who it was.
It was an insane environment. It had a flyover.
Flowrider. Yeah, no, it was cool. Now, I don't know how you even see a volleyball from section 318, row 60, but
true.
I feel like volleyball, like, you know, you've seen like basketball games. People talk about playing basketball games in stadiums. I feel like volleyball would be an easier sport to watch than basketball in a stadium because you're not looking for the ball to necessarily go anywhere. You're just seeing it go out of bounds or hit the ground.
It's
like you're not trying to see it go into the basket. I feel like that'd be much more difficult. NHL. I don't see how people watch the NHL Classic. Cool. It's very cool what they do, but like, how can you see anything?
You're just waiting for the buzzer.
Right. That's it.
That's really all it is. You can't see anything.
There's also the factor that my grandparents used to live in Nebraska and I visited them. There's not shit to do there. So,
you're going with that. Oh, you're going with the LA Pac-12 argument. Get out of here.
I'm just saying,
how beautiful LA is in the fall.
There's literally nothing to do.
You know what else is beautiful in the fall? Neyland Stadium, Dylan. That's what's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Scotty McCreery performed at the thing. Like, can we say that
Scotty McCreery?
At least 10,000 of those people might have been there for like a musical thing more than the volleyball game. I think the
Scotty
mix of
McCreery, that might be worse than not having a musical performance, right?
I don't know. Nebraska people are like that, dude. I'm not up with the Cornhuskers music preference. It's gotta. I mean, they're probably about 7 years late. Scotty McCreery's probably banging in their top 50 right now. I don't know.
Didn't he win American Idol like 2011?
Is he a hometown guy?
Is that where he's from? That would make a lot of sense.
Maybe.
There's
I don't
no
know.
way
I'm in on
McCreary
it.
just drops into a game like that.
I thought it looked awesome. The walkout was pretty cool.
From North Carolina. So you could have picked maybe 80 other people, which I'm not. Scott McCreery's great. I'm not saying he's not. In fact, he was in Knoxville, actually. He did a decent amount in Knoxville, and that was him, right? Yeah. I mean, it was a good concert, but
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Florida just doing another pick. Yeah.
Yeah. It was I don't think I need to go back and watch it, but I don't know if it's entirely Graham Mertz's fault.
No, it wasn't. It
hit a dude in the chest, it looked like.
You talked about score again. Well, 3rd and 4 at the 5, but
they did that. Sorry. They did. They do.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just on the ESPN.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. 2 hours is a long time, but we got a great weekend ahead of us. We're going to be tailgating Lot R. Stop by. Don't know if we have a whole lot for you other than a great time and maybe some brewskis. It's going to be a short tailgate because we are, have a game.
Not for me. I'm going from Broadway Friday night to R.
Yeah, just walk
on R. Yeah.
All right. We'll be back Sunday talking about a Vols win. Great to be back. God bless football. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.